Hello. Welcome to your All in the Hips class. I am excited that you're here, and we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're going to focus a little more into our hamstrings and work with that, as they always need some love. So I do recommend that you have a couple of blocks or something that you can allow yourself to put a little pressure on and give yourself some space. And I recommend that you grab one of them right now as we're going to start seated. So hopefully you joined me for last week's meditation where we talked about, getting really clear and just creating space. And so as we get into our hamstrings, quite often that's a place that gets really sticky for us. So I want you to use your breath to really honor where you're at. Let go of that internal dialogue that comes along with it and just let yourself clear it out. Okay, so let's sit up nice and tall, roll the shoulders just a couple of times. And then allow your shoulders to relax down your back, lifting out of the waist and closing the eyes if they aren't already. And just taking a couple of clearing breaths. So maybe you even take a deep breath through your mouth and just allow yourself to really consciously step into this space right now. Begin to feel your breath as it moves through your body. Knowing and fully accepting that the areas we go into today will create some resistance. So can you allow yourself to step out of that automatic state where we think deeper is better? And allow yourself to consciously breathe into the depths of the positions that we take with love and kindness and care, so that we relax through what we go through instead of forcing our bodies to be somewhere that it's not quite ready. Breathe easy into your practice today. Take 2 more breaths here. Then slowly and gently start to open up the eyes. Hello. And we're going to get started removing the block. Unless you are really tight into your hamstrings, you are welcome to keep that elevation of the hips. And then what you're going to do is take your feet a little wider than your hips, maybe even wider than the mat. And then just take a couple of breaths, rocking the knees gently side to side. We'll do that one more round. And then we're going to take our time and then extend the right leg straight forward and bend the left knee in. Now sit up really nice and tall, wiggle through your sit bones, and try not to open the hips to the side. Keep the position straight forward. And right arm's going to reach out to the right to encourage the shoulders to stay nice and square. Left arm straight forward. And then you'll slowly walk forward. And then you breathe. Feeling the right toes pulling back towards you. And the positioning of the left foot is gently hugging into that midline to support keeping the hips square. So if you joined me last week for hips, we worked a lot with tree pose. This is the same idea. Two more breaths. Now on your next inhale, slowly taking your time, rolling yourself all the way up. And then what you're going to do is lean over into that right hip, grab the top of your left ankle, and then pull the knee out to the side. Now this may not work for you, that's okay. Keep the left foot in line with your inner thigh, perfectly fine. Inhale here, sit up nice and tall. And then slowly start to walk yourself forward and let the head get heavy. Naturally, we're going to be lopsided, right? So you do your best to just encourage the squareness as best you can. Breathe into all the feels. This should provide you with a more intense experience, but not to the point of tensing up. Remember, deeper is not always better. One more breath. Inhale slowly, taking your time. We'll come all the way up, leaning once again into that right hip. Extend the left leg forward. And then inhale, just lift up really nice and tall. As you exhale, gently come forward into a more relaxed, kind of like yin style. Let the toes soften and just let your head be heavy and take a breath. And just feel the difference between the left leg and the right. And on your next inhale, let's just slowly roll that all the way up. And leaning now to the left hip and bending into your right knee. So sliding the sole of the foot to encourage the hips to stay forward. Left hand at a slight diagonal. Inhale, big breath in. Toes are active this time as you inch your way forward. And then allowing your head to get heavy here. Your shoulders to soften down. And you just simply breathe. Paying attention to the quality of your breath and adjusting the depth from there. If you don't find any hesitation with the breath, try to lengthen your spine forward more. One more breath. And then inhale slowly, taking your time, rolling all the way up. You're going to lean over into that left hip. Grab the top of your right ankle and pull the knee out to the side. Nice big breath in, lift up tall, and then take your time, inching forward. Allowing the head to get heavy, the shoulders to melt gently, and the breath to flow through you deeply. Two more here. And then inhale slowly, taking your time to come all the way up. And then once again, let's lean to the left hip, reach the right leg forward. This time, keep the toes actively pulling back. Inhale, reach the arms up. And what I want you to do first is reach to where the ceiling meets the wall. So you really lengthen. We tend to just kind of round back. I want you to even bend the knees a little if you need to lengthen forward. Hands can grab outer edges of the feet, ankles, shins, or perhaps you even use a strap. But whatever grip you have with your hands, I want you to use it to lengthen the heart forward, and then you soften from there. Feeling a little more balance between the left and the right leg. Still probably noticing some inconsistencies. One side's always a little tighter than the other. Or perhaps one's just more a little flexible than the other, right? One more breath. And then you're going to inhale and slowly roll all the way up. And then from that position, you can go ahead and kick your feet over to one side. I do recommend having your blocks closer to the top of your mat, not on the mat, but just readily available. And come into your tabletop position. So give yourself some space and then just move around in the hips a little bit. Notice what you notice. Meet it with your breath. Feel a little extra tight or maybe a little extra free today. And whatever you're doing one direction, just start to move the other way. And again, just kind of move with a little bit of curiosity. Try not to look at the screen and do what I'm doing. Move with what feels good for you. And then we'll slowly take your time, and then you're going to walk your hands slightly back, tucking your toes underneath, and then we're going to straighten through the legs and just walk the hands to the back of your mat. And then just soften the knees, bend them a little more than you need to as you take your hands and grab opposite elbows. Just let the weight of the arms pull you down and let the head be heavy. If you feel comfortable here, I want you to close down your eyes, press into your feet, and engage your legs a little bit more. As you exhale, can you let the weight of your upper body just pour forward? So you start to kind of create this energetic circle as you inhale, press through the feet, lift the hips a little more. As you exhale from the hips to the crown of the head, just pour forward. 2 more breaths. One more here. You're going to slowly and gently take your time, release the hands down, and then we'll just walk the hands. This time, walking forward into a plank position here. Dropping the knees if you need to, perfectly fine. Just taking a second to align the body, press away from the floor, and then I want you to bend your knees and push up into your downward facing dog. Now take a second here to wiggle around a little bit. Notice what feels good for you as we start to wake up the body a little more in an active way. And then starting to settle in. Once again, bend your knees more than you need. Look at your hands. Make sure they're straight forward. So some element of your peace fingers, your index and middle finger straight ahead. And then feeling the balance between all 10 fingers. Push and create more length in your spine. Fill that with your breath. And then kind of like that energetic circle with your hands pressing into the floor. With every inhale, push your hips higher. And then as you exhale, actively press into your feet to help lift the hips higher too. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, let's go ahead, kick your right leg, lift it up towards the sky. And you're gonna bend your right knee and step your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Now you might need a few wiggles to get there, that's fine. We're gonna drop the back knee down. Find the tips of the fingers here, and then we're gonna inhale, just open and expand into the chest. Exhale, you're gonna bring the weight back, shifting the weight back, pulling your right toes above the floor. And then we're gonna do that again. We're gonna inhale just a couple of rounds of breath. Every exhale, we bring the weight back, and then we breathe into the back of that right leg. One more time. Inhale. Feel all the feels. Exhale. Notice the temptation to want to rush. So then let's inhale slowly. Take your time, come forward. And then from that position, what you're going to do is place your left palm flat to the mat, right hand on the inside of the knee. Now I want you to really drive the top of your left foot down and then just open up here. So inner edge of your right foot's going to peel up, and then you're going to draw your shoulder down your back. Breathing deeply here for 3, 2. One more breath. And then slowly take your time bringing your right hand back. And then let's come on to the tips of the fingers. I want you to take your block and then bring it to its highest setting, more in line with your left knee. So you're gonna take your right hand to your knee and then take your left hand to your hip. So now what I want you to do is, in this wider stance, I really want you to feel the front of your left hip. You're gonna take your hand to the block, bring it behind your right hip, and then lean into it. Left arm's gonna reach up and over. So we're taking this really nice, deep side bend, also a back bend. So that's the way I want you to have something to press your right hand into, as the floor is quite far away on this one. One more breath. And then slowly take your time. Left hand's gonna come to the hip, and then we're gonna inhale here. Take your right elbow on the inside of the knee. Now you're gonna walk that right foot out to the right, and then from here, you're gonna lean into that, and then just open and expand the chest. Once again, reach that left arm up, and then back. Just feeling that hip a little different. One more breath. And then let's slowly circle that left hand back down, and then we'll take our time moving that block out of your way. Both palms press. You're gonna tuck your left toes underneath, and then we're gonna float that right leg back to plank and find your downward facing dog. Take a nice big deep breath in. Big breath out. Let it be a sigh, like really release something, right? Let your breath be your tool to clear. It's heavy stuff we're doing. Take one more breath, tapping into a lot of stored information, sometimes tension and anger and frustration. So just let it be, like let it relax. One more breath. And then on your inhale, left leg lifts up to the sky, really big breath. Slowly bend your left knee, and then we'll place that foot to the outside of the palm, dropping the back knee down. So let's inhale, find the tips of the fingers. We're gonna open and expand the chest, big breath. Exhale, slowly driving the hips back, lifting the left toes. Inhale, slowly taking your time coming forward. Exhale and shift the weight back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, we're gonna slowly take your time, come forward. Now right palm will go flat, left hand on the inside of the knee, lengthen your spine, and then just push the knee out. Shoulder down your back. And then just breathe deeply here as you feel the front of your right hip a little bit more. One more breath. And slowly taking your time. Now from here, you're gonna take that block on the left side, bring it more in line with your right knee so it's quite far back, and then you're gonna inhale here, press with your left hand, and sweep the right arm up. Once you feel stable there, you're gonna take your left hand to the block. So you're leaning into it, but pushing away, and then right arm's gonna reach up and back. And you're gonna feel this really deep stretch through the front of your right hip. Breathe into it. One more breath. And then slowly take your time. Right hand can come down. You can move that block out of your way. Left elbow to the knee. And then inhale here, right hand to the hip. So we're gonna walk that left foot out so it'll be more like a diagonal line. You're gonna lean into that and then open the chest. And then once again, right arm reaches, So you're not sinking into your left elbow. No, no, no. You press away, right? We continuously use that foundation to create space. It's that conscious decision to not sink with gravity. One more breath. And then slowly taking your time, right palm comes down, left palm comes down, chest stays open as you tuck your right toes, straighten the leg, and then float the left leg back, high plank. And inhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath, wiggle out what you need, clear out what you need. All right, on your next inhale, we're gonna take our time. You're gonna slowly bend into your knees, gaze forward, and then step your feet to the top of the mat. Now, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Now, what I want you to do is grab your blocks to their higher setting, and then you want quite a bit of space between you and the blocks. If you bring your hands to your blocks, your shoulders should stack, and then your hips should stack over top of the heels. So when you're ready, bring your hands back down. Inhale here, take both your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toe, and then inhale, lengthen your heart forward. As we exhale, we're gonna pull that upper body down, actively pressing into your feet to lengthen your legs. And just really feeling the backs of the legs open here. 2 more breaths. Upper body plays a much more active role now. You're pulling up on those toes, drawing the shoulders away from your ears, and bending the elbows so you can access the strength of your biceps to hug your heart a little closer. On your next inhale, slowly release the grip of your hands, and then inhale, hands to shin, lengthen the heart forward. A little automatic there for you. Press through your left foot. See how quick that shifts. Inhale here, right leg is going to kick back. As you kick your right leg straight back, I want you to press into your left leg more. And then we're gonna keep this really nice and simple. What I want you to do is hug the ribs in, feel the action of the left leg get a little stronger, and then just reach your left arm forward. Breathing here for 3. Now, would it be possible for you to get a little bit lighter on your right hand? So you're not even necessarily really needing it, but it's there for you. 1 more breath. Slowly take your left hand down, flexing that right foot. And then from here, place it down. Inhale here, just wiggle it out a little bit, release what you need to. So you should feel that lats into your left hip. If not, then consider on the next side really focusing on anchoring through the inner edge of your right foot. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Kick the left leg straight back. Now hip's gonna wanna open because the leg gets higher. Draw your hip down. You're gonna feel that more into the work of your right hip. Inhale here, lengthen. Remember, find the inner edge of your right foot, and then here, right arm reaches forward. Breathe here. So create that expandable state. Don't sink, push, and engage. That's it, 1 more breath. And then slowly take your time, left foot comes down. Inhale here, lengthen the heart forward. Then what you're gonna do is take your blocks to their mid setting. From that position, you're gonna step your left leg back and then walk your blocks right under your shoulders. So now from here, we're gonna inhale, play a little bit here. We're gonna open and expand the chest into that deep lunge. Exhale, press from the blocks. Pull your right toes up, and then we're gonna do that again. Inhale, open and expand the chest, big breath. Exhale. Now we're gonna start to add the action of dropping the back knee down as we inhale. Open through the front of that left hip. Exhale, lift the back leg and straighten the front leg. 1 more time. Open and exhale, pressing back. Now on your next inhale, we're gonna drop the back knee down, untuck the toes, and then we're gonna inhale here. Press into that back foot, and then reach the arms up to the sky. Shoulders down your back, and we lift from here. Breathing into the front of that left hip, and then supporting your ability to lift out of the waist with the action of driving into your right foot. Push it down. One more breath. Good. Slowly take your time. Bring your hands to the blocks. Tuck your left toes. Straighten through that left leg. And then inhale here, heart forward. Could your arms reach up into that full lunge? Knowing your back knee can stay down, perfectly fine. Breathe here. Soft gaze. Hug the ribs in. And breathe. One more breath. Slowly taking your time, hands come back down. Now you're gonna drop the back knee down, and then we're gonna open and expand into the chest. Now you're gonna start to wiggle your right foot forward, and then from that position, you're gonna see if you can start to flex that right foot. Now you might actually shift the weight back a little bit, that's okay, as long as your hips stay square. But would it be possible for you, sticky mats are fun, you can slowly start to bring that right leg forward. And I want you to keep the back toes tucked to really just lift out of it. So it's just like you're in that full lunge, lifting up. Breathing here for 3, for 2, one more breath. And then untuck your back toes and see if you could walk your hands back a little bit more, but now keep the action of pushing into your foot. 2 more breaths. Now I know it's tempting because you go lower to open the hips. Don't do it. We lose the sweet spot of the front of that left hip. Now on your next inhale, push into your blocks. See if you can lift that right foot back. Inhale here, blocks come off to the side. Hands are gonna frame your right foot. So you should be in a slightly shorter stance than where we were before. You're gonna inhale here. Let's actually start with the hands slightly further forward, and then we'll work our way back. Tuck the left toes, inhale, heart forward, and then you're gonna shift the weight, and then you're gonna press that right leg strong as you kick the left leg up to the sky. Now fold your body and start to walk your hands now back in line with the right heel. And then I want you to take your right hand, wrap it around the back of the right leg. Steady gaze, calm breath, lift your left hand, and then see if you can wrap it around the back. Breathe here. 2 more breaths. One more here. And then slowly, and maybe not slowly, perfectly fine, flex that left foot. And then from here, wiggle it out a little bit. Really good job. And then on your next inhale, let's let it be a clearing breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. Shake it out. Literally, wiggle it out. And then let's repeat. So let's grab those blocks. Inhale here. You're gonna step now your right foot back. So inhale here, open and expand the chest into that full depth of your lunge. Exhale, shift the weight back. Inhale, slowly coming forward, open the chest. Exhale, and bring the weight back. Now let's add the drop of the back knee. Inhale, slowly coming forward, open up. Exhale, straighten both legs. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it back. Now inhale, Drop the back knee. Let's untuck the toes and then slowly sweep those arms up. Nice big breath. Shoulders down your back. Soft, gentle gaze up. Breathe here. One more breath. And then you're going to slowly take your time, bring your hands back down to the ground, tucking your right toes, lifting that back leg strong. And then inhale here, arms reaching up to the sky. Big breaths. Slide deeper into that left leg, hugging the ribs in. And you're going to feel that differently through the front of your right hip. Soft gaze up. Shoulders melting down. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly taking your time, bringing your hands down to the ground, and then we're going to drop the back knee down. So this might be your pose. This is perfectly fine. An option is to just kind of shift the weight back to get into that half split, or you can see, could you wiggle that left foot forward? And then bring your hands a little further back so you can, really allow yourself to lift out of the waist. And then maybe it's there for you to start to straighten that left leg and lower the hips. So you breathe into whatever's available to you. And then you lift up tall. We'll take one more deep breath. Can you sink a little lower as your heart lifts? And then lean forward enough that you can untuck the back toes and then see what's available for you from there. Breathe deeply. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And then you're going to slowly push into the blocks. Slide that left leg back so we're in a shorter stance now, and then shift the weight forward. So go ahead, take your time. You're going to walk the blocks off to the side and then inhale here. Take your time. From that position, you're going to tuck your right toes underneath and lift the back leg. Walk your hands slightly forward. And then inhale here, kick that right leg to the sky. You're gonna actively fold that upper body down. And then maybe you walk your hands a little further back and kick up higher. Left hand starts to hover and grab the back of the left leg. And then maybe the right hand starts to hover and do the same. And then you just breathe as you kick up higher. It's going to be wobbly. That's the point. Can you create that clearing instead of that panicked feeling? 1 more breath. And then slowly taking your time, flexing through that right foot. We'll come back. Inhale here. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now plant your palms, stepping back 1 more time into your plank, and then lifting into your down dog. Take 3 breaths. 2. And then on your next inhale, let's slowly kick the right leg up to the sky. Nice big deep breath. And then bend your right knee, this time working your way into your pigeon pose. So know that this can be done from the back if this doesn't agree with your body. And then we're gonna inhale here, lift up tall. So same thing, I want you to first start with the back bend variation, really focusing on creating space in the front of your hip. So ideally, hands are not required here. You could even reach them back. Take 1 more breath. And then let's slowly take your time and walk the elbows forward. Let your head be heavy. Soften through your shoulders. Just release what you need. Notice where you're clenching and holding on. Consciously create space by just letting go. Two more breaths. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly lengthen the heart forward. Pause for a second. And you just take your time. Plant through your palms, tucking your left toes underneath, and we'll just go right back to downward dog. Take what you need in your dog. Maybe you pedal it out. One more breath. And your left leg's gonna lift up to the sky. Nice big deep breath in. Left knee comes forward to your left wrist. Back knee comes down. You wanna make sure the foot is right behind your hip. And then just inhale here, lift up top. So again, your legs are just as strong as they were in that lunge, and you're lifting out of the way. So it's really common. Not even common, it's natural, right? To sync with gravity. So we have to create that conscious decision to lift, and then maybe our hands can come up without collapsing. And then maybe we could use the arms then to reach back. Chest is open. It's not easy. One more breath. And just take your time. As you walk your hands forward, elbows come down, lengthen the heart forward, and let your head be heavy. So you've made the choice to come into this position. And for most of us, it's an uncomfortable one, right? So what do you do with that? Do you force your way through and cleanse up, or tense up, I should say, clenching? Or do you give yourself enough space by anchoring into the ground so that you can breathe and soften? Two more breaths. Once you've exhaled out all the air, you're going to take your time, come forward, and then this time what you're going to do is, as you push yourself up, you're going to lean over into that left hip and swing your right leg forward. Now take your blocks more to the back of your mat, and then what you're going to do is just place your hands behind you, and then just like we started, let's bring those feet nice and wide, and then rock the knees over to the left, and then just feel that. Maybe bend your right elbow, look over top, and then inhale, come back up, and then knees over to the right. Elbow bends, or left shoulder comes back. And you slowly take your time and come all the way up. So feet are going to be flat, arms are going to reach straight ahead. Nice big breath in, and then you're going to slowly lower down. And then the second it gets a little shaky, you're going to breathe into that. Instead of collapsing with the instability, you're going to create just a little more strength and create stillness in what seems a little chaotic. Slowly release your head and then take your feet a little closer to your hips, and then you're going to press down through your feet. Peel your hips up. Now, I highly recommend the use of a block or a cushion here. Have it at its lowest setting if you're using a block. Lift the hips and then rest right underneath the sacrum. So it should feel comfortable. So you're even welcome to use a bolster if you have that. And then if it doesn't feel good, just ditch it. It's okay. Interlock your fingers around your right shin and then just rock a little bit side to side. Find that spot that's the perfect place to settle into that, gives you a little feedback, but not so much that you're tensing, right? And then maybe walk your left foot out a little bit, maybe walk it out a lot. And you just relax here for a moment. Letting your eyes be heavy if they aren't already. In this position, just giving yourself 3 more breaths. One more here. And just slowly bending into your left knee and release your right foot down. Take a breath. And then we'll go ahead and repeat it on the other side. Bend the left knee and then rock it a little bit side to side. And you can take your time and extend the right leg. Just notice how that shifts. Be sure that it honors where you are. Again, coming back to this theme that deeper is not always better. We often like to treat life like a ladder. I always like to say it doesn't work that way. You might want to continue to strive for deeper, better things, but let's be real. Life's like a jungle gym, weaving you in and out and up and down. The point is to see if we can just stay steady so that the overall direction is forward and up. Ensuring that we're not hard on ourselves through those little dips, because they're a part of our practice. Slowly and gently bend your right knee, release your left foot, and then lift your hips up. Move that block, and I recommend grabbing the other one, and then just tuck your chin, lift your head, and you're going to take your blocks right behind the backs of the knees. Palms flip up, and then for a moment, you're just going to anchor into your breath. It might not seem like much, but learning to redirect this focus is what's going to empower your ability to be easy on yourself through those dips. breath. Notice how you feel. Doing your best not to interrupt this state that you've created. Subtly bring a little bit of movement back. And then slowly taking your time as you bring your legs together, moving your props out of your way. And then arms are going to reach up and back. And then you're going to hug your knees into your chest. Planting your feet flat, we're going to curl over onto our side. Take a breath there. Don't rush. And slowly pushing yourself all the way up. And then let's come back to a seated position. Eyes closed, hands wherever you want them to be. Belly, heart, together at the chest. And just taking a moment to honor this state that you've created here. I know there's a lot of competing priorities, but you chose to take this time to yourself, and I hope that you're proud of that. And more importantly, I hope that you feel great. So thank yourself. Thank your body. Namaste. I hope you feel fantastic, and I hope that you're taking advantage of all these other things. I received this lovely email today of just about like, I've just been doing yin, and now I stepped into Pilates, and I stepped into this and that. And, the way that I present this menu, as you will, is so that it gives you this balanced approach so that you can take those, like, we worked hard today, I'm sure you felt it, but it wasn't like a hard and like push-ups or planks, right? So it's different, and it all works in together, and the goal is that you leave whole in whatever practice you do, especially in the practice of love. Take the best care.